Okay, today we are playing a game on Lijiang Tower. We are playing Mercy the entire way through, and I believe this was a competitive game, but it either happened during placements or the off-season, because we don't have a rank attached to it, you know, whatever, who cares. Our current team composition is D.Va, Roadhog, Soldier, Genji, Mercy, and Lucio. So, wholly unremarkable and not worth talking about. So we're just gonna start the game instead. Oh god. Hold on, it's gonna fix itself. There we go. Okay. So we're on Garden to begin with, and we're gonna get into a pretty... we're also on the console. There, I knew I was forgetting something. We're on the PS4, it looks like, based on the hieroglyphics. Consider yourself forewarned if that bothers you. So, this fight ends up being really long and cumbersome to get through. So we have drastically overshot where we should be right now, because we're, like, in the enemy team right now. We are being pressured by Tracer, so we obviously don't want to be near her, but, like, cancel this GA so that you don't go into the enemy team also, because, oh god, yeah, alright, we got away from the Tracer, but it's kind of out of the frying pan into the fire, because now it's just the entire enemy team is around us instead. Which is worse than just the Tracer. So, it ends up being, like, kinda awkward, because we just get into this really long fight. So we can see Reaper doing that. Reaper's not actually allowed to do that. Reaper should die for that, but he doesn't die for that, so that's very sad. And then we just kinda, like, turn our back on him. Don't know if we didn't notice him, or we just weren't, like, paying attention to him anymore, but, like, oh, we gotta, like... Reaper just appeared right next to us right there. He could kill us pretty quickly if he went for us. Fortunately, he didn't go for us. So, I got really annoyed watching this game, because we end up in this long scuffle. And our boy Lucio, otherwise known as Danny... I'm sorry, I'm about to really complain about this. I can feel the bile and vitriol coming up right now. So our boy Lucio, our boy Danny, decides that he wants to communicate with the team. He's gonna lead his team to victory for communication. And how does he plan to do that? By going... Can we get rid of the healers? We gotta get the healers. Guys, we gotta kill the healers. We're not killing the healers. We've gotta kill the healers. I'm sorry I banged the table. I'm not passionate about this. So, he's like, we gotta kill the healers. We're not killing the healers. We didn't kill the healers. What a huge fucking waste of time, Danny. It's textbook. I don't have anything actually productive to say. I don't know what to say, and I don't have anything productive to say. So I'm just gonna say something really obvious that everyone knows, because that makes me feel better about myself. It makes me feel like I'm contributing and I'm communicating with the team. I'm communicating with the team, but the team doesn't want to listen to my communication, god damn it. I'm telling them they're supposed to kill the healers and they're not doing it. Why are my team so bad at communication? Your communication is bad and you should feel bad. If you don't have anything productive to say, don't say it at all, because otherwise it's a huge fucking waste of everyone's time. Why, yes, I am pretty salty today. I'm very salty today. Thank you for noticing. Because you see, I've been trying to learn how to play a fighting game, which has gone predictably terribly, but it hasn't stopped me from being salty about it. So I come into watching this replay, and I'm just listening to Lucio the entire time, and just slowly it builds up, and I'm like, I hope Zeus smites you right fucking now. And this is why I don't join the team chat, right? Because I come into the game and this Lucio, who thinks he's being productive and communicating and is actually being a huge waste of everyone's time, he just slowly would grate on me more and more, and then suddenly I'm just gonna snap and be like, I hope you get struck by lightning right now so that I don't have to endure your voice any longer. And then, weirdly enough, he's probably gonna take that the wrong way, and then it's all downhill from there. So I was really angry about that one. So, now that that's all out of the system, let's actually resume watching the game. So, Danny, being a waste of time, has managed to actually kill Reaper somehow, so that's great. Incredibly productive time. So we're healing people at full HP. We do that a few times throughout this game, and that's not... We don't want to heal people at full HP. We've gone into where we don't want to be, because... There's not actually really anything happening out here, so like we don't need to come over to the D.Va. This is probably just to try and get to her quickly because we're far away. Just gotta cancel the GA so that you don't swing into the enemy team, because like, we just swung past her into the enemy team again. Fortunately, they don't have anything there that can like kill us quickly. So that's good, but like, we don't want to be this far in. Now I've gone back because we can see Reaper teleporting into the window again. He's still not allowed to do that, but he has chosen to do it, and it doesn't look like we noticed him until he was basically right on top of us. And now the way we're positioning is also kind of awkward because we see Reaper right there, and then we start trending into the Reaper when we should be trending away from the Reaper because Reaper wants us to be right next to him. Fortunately, he's more occupied with D.Va than us, but like if he's like a little bit paying more attention to us than that, like we get killed for that, really. Then we end up getting hit by Earth Shatter. We don't have anyone who can block Earth Shatter, so like your options are fairly limited, but this fight has been going on for about the entire span of human existence, and Earth Shatter builds up very quickly, so we can infer he probably has it, seeing as we almost have Valkyrie at that point, and try to avoid him, because we don't want to get hit by Earth Shatter. But if you don't have somebody who can block Earth Shatter, your options tend to be kind of limited, and it tends to be very awkward to try and avoid it, so whatever. Now, we have Valkyrie built up. They've just lost their Reinhardt, but Reinhardt gets rezzed by Mercy, which Danny and then takes this time to point out that we didn't kill Mercy, and he rezzed the... Yes, we know Mercy's a stupid hero, Danny. So then we get caught in the Graviton, and a Pulse Bomb gets thrown in, and we get fucked. You're meant to get fucked if that happens. Like, you're not really meant to be able to get out of that situation. Fortunately, we didn't push Valkyrie, as is many Mercy players' reaction to getting pulled into the Graviton. Don't do that. Yeah. I know we didn't do it, but like I've seen so many Mercy players get pulled into the Graviton and then use Valkyrie. Don't do that. The regen is not going to save you. So, we've still got Valkyrie, so that's good. Now they're down that. Danny, our boy Danny, decides that he's going to change to Pharah because goddamn, our team's not killing the supports even though I told them we need to. I gotta do it myself by making the team composition worse. So, we've got Valkyrie, so that's cool. We're waiting for our team to regrow. Like, really, we're too far up at that point because, like, if we get picked off with Soldier right there, that's terrible because we'd be getting picked off right as our team is arriving. Now here, we actually end up, but Divine Providence, we do actually manage to capture this checkpoint because their Reinhardt just got hooked off. He can't get rezzed if he gets hooked off, and then Roadhog's going in with Whole Hog. We just pop Valkyrie because we're going into fight. Might as well use it right at the start of the fight. As long as we can try and get a res in before the end of Valkyrie, like, that's great. But just Valkyrie in and of itself is really strong, so that's fine. Here, we're, like, hanging out really close to people, even though we don't need to. We can just hang out outside the doorway and heal people out there, because the tether is mad long. And not come in and risk getting ourselves killed. If we're gonna come in, we should not be on the floor. We've got full movement. We should be up at the top of the building if we're gonna go into the building, because we don't want this to happen, basically. Like, nothing comes as a result of this. Also, their team, like, can't kill you if you're in the air, either. They're all short-range heroes. And just generally, like, you want to be up in the sky, because the further you are in the sky, generally the harder you are to kill. Caveat, if they have a Soldier or a McCree, you do have to bear that in mind, and if you think they have their ultimate, you have to account for that if you're going to start going up. But generally, being really high makes it harder to kill you. You don't want to be, like, on the ground in Valkyrie. So Genji came over here to use Dragon Blade, which was fundamentally a waste of company resources. Like, he kills the Mercy, but, like, they have to regroup by this point anyway, so it didn't really accomplish anything. So we did get control of the point, but we used a lot of ultimates to make it happen, right? Like, we used 3. Yeah, we used 3. We used Valkyrie, Whole Hog, and Dragon Blade. 2 of which are really strong, and 1 of which is not very strong, but... So we ended up using a lot of resources, so the fear is now they come in with a bunch of ultimates and they kill us while we don't have enough resources to fend them off with. Easiest way to throw when you're on defense. And basically we're on defense right now because we've got control of the point. King of the Hill is that way, where one team is basically playing attack and one team is basically playing defense, depending on who gets control of the point. So they had 2 people get picked off before they came in, and then Soldier's going in with Tac Visor, and he's gonna wipe everyone out through, basically, with that. We res him when he gets killed. Their Soldier's behind us, but he's alone, so it's not the end of the world. Like, what's he gonna do, right? So, just Tac Visor was actually enough to fend off that push, which is basically the dream. Helped out by the fact that 2 of them got picked off before the fight actually started. So, they've only got 1 more push, realistically, because we're at 70% right now, so... They don't have that much time. Soldier is still behind us, which we obviously don't really want, but we're playing Mercy, so our options are limited. If you're getting shot at by the sky, Just, like, get out of the sky as quickly as possible, because, like, they are probably, if it's a soldier or a McCree, assuming they're gonna play well, which you should assume the enemy team is gonna do, until shown otherwise, if they start hitting you, it's easier to keep hitting you, because then they don't have to make as many sharp adjustments to try and hit you. Just, like, get out of the sky and behind something. Because it's like, floating out in open sky is what gets the Pharah and the Mercy killed, usually. So our team is wiping theirs over there, because they've been using ultimates to make it happen. And a bunch of people are low HP. We're just gonna pop Valkyrie to heal everybody back up, and they're all dead at this point, so, like, if they even get back to try and contest it, it's gonna be, like, one dude for half a second, so, like, it'll all happen to work out. Soldier managed to fend off a push with just Tac Visor, and then Genji and Roadhog got their ultimates back, and that was enough to fend off the second push, especially seeing as their soldier had decided he didn't actually want to contribute to the game anymore. So, it all worked out great. It doesn't keep working out very great. As you might have been able to tell by the fact that this video is reasonably long for a King of the Hill game. So, now we're on Night Market. Debatably better for their team, because it tends to be a fairly short-range encounters happening, unless you're fighting out in the courtyard, which tends to not happen very much except at the start of the game, so debatably their team is more suited to this map than ours. Don't go with the Genji, because if you're with the Genji, and the Genji decides that he's gonna go off and do his own thing suddenly, you're gonna get left behind the enemy team. And Genji just in general is not the best person to pocket, because, well, this is unfortunate, but, like, if we didn't follow the Genji through, we probably would not have been in that position. Yeah. Genji's not the best person to pocket, because he doesn't, like, have a big enough impact if he doesn't have Dragon Blade up, really. Unless he's a god. He's probably not gonna be a god. It's better to just stick with the soldier, because the soldier is going to be in a more safe position, which you want as Mercy, and he's going to be a more consistent damage dealer, which is better for damage boosting as well than Genji is. And also, if he decides that he's going to leave you, he's going to leave you in your team, not the enemy team, right? So here we end up getting caught by the Reinhardt. We didn't need to GA up to this D.Va, because we were in range to hit the D.Va with our beam anyway. So GAing up to the person basically just got us hit by the Earth Shatter, even though there was realistically no reason for us to get Earth Shattered here. So our team is like, res. I would not have done it. Like, the first time I was watching this, I was like, I wouldn't have done that, seeing as, like, half the team is dead. Fortunately, they end up a lot of them end up reinforcing, like, right as the res happens, and D.Va only lost her mech, so it's not the end of the world. But I was like, ooh, I don't know about that one. Especially since we went, pretty deep to make it happen as well. And here, we're, like, keep going into the room, which we don't really want to do. Like, yeah, Lucio's over here doing that. Like, you're more important than Lucio as Mercy. Don't, like, put yourself in harm's way to try and save somebody else, because if they fucked up and they're gonna die as a result of fucking up, just let them die because they fucked up. Don't, like, put yourself in mortal peril to try and fix their mistake. Especially if they're a massive waste of time, like Danny is. So, most of our team dead right now. Soldier decides he's gonna go in and try to make something happen anyway. Kills their Mercy, and our team is reinforcing right around now, but we lost Genji right as this happened as well. Like, we are very too close to the enemy team. Like, we probably wanted to try and get to the Genji to res him. It is just not feasible because he was in the middle of the enemy team when he died. So we were probably posturing to try and get to him. Like, we were way too close to them. Then we end up backing out into Death Blossom as well, but like, if we're playing it a little more cautiously, we can probably tell Reaper's gonna do that and back away from him, rather than being in front of the enemy team and having to back out however we can, and then ending up just backing up into Death Blossom. So we get back in time to res D.Va. Our whole team is here, so this is fine. This is like the ideal time to res someone right before a fight. And now D.Va's running away right as Lucio uses the sound barrier, so that's very awkward timing. Here, we go way too close to the ground again. And we end up dying. Yes, we do die. Which shouldn't have happened. We're playing Mercy, we just used Valkyrie. We should never be in a position where we can get Earth Shattered out of Valkyrie, because in the list of ultimates that countered Valkyrie, Earth Shatter is definitely not there. It's basically just High Noon and Tack Visor, sometimes the Tire. Like, it shouldn't have happened. We should have been further up. We can go in through the window, we don't have to go in through the doorway, and we should have just not gotten hit by that. The fight against all odds has still been going okay, even in our absence, so we get back in time to contribute to it. We just swoop right past Reinhardt as he runs at us. And, got pinned, it's okay, we can res him because we're playing Mercy. Now they're like, get the Mercy! Yeah! No shit! If only she wasn't so hard to kill when she's in Valkyrie, right? Fortunately, Soldier's got Tack Visor again, so he's able to kill her out of it. We pull out the pistol to run right at the Reinhardt, which I wouldn't recommend doing as Mercy, but it all worked out because he was like low HP and we're winning the fight right now. Anyway, Lucio got Sound Barrier back up again, so we ended up having to use a lot of ultimates. Some people ulted twice in the same engagement, but it ended up working out okay. So that's the important thing. We've almost got Valkyrie back up again, so that's also great. We've got like an eternity to hold this point for, because we're at 0%, and they've got it at 99%. So if we lose one fight, we lose the round, which is the worst feeling on King of the Hill. So this happens, and you're meant to die. Right, you're meant to die when this happens. There's not really anything you can do about it. Even if you have a Zenyatta using Transcendence to cancel it out, Graviton Pulse Bomb is the strongest ult combo in the game because that kills you through Transcendence. So, there's really nothing you can do. It's one of those things that has very minimum counterplay attached to it. If Lucio can time his Sound Barrier, like, flawlessly, it cancels out the Pulse Bomb, but then you probably still die because you're in the Graviton. It's just one of those things that you're not meant to survive. And it's just unfortunate that the thing that we were not meant to survive happened to us when if we lose one fight, we lose the round. So, it's very terrible, very sad times. As you can see, this round ends relatively quickly. It doesn't end very well for us, though. So, now we've got a slightly more divey team, because we've got Winston D.Va on our team. Also, like, the only way that maybe you survive also is if D.Va gets lucky and eats the Graviton, but, like, wouldn't consider that a consistent strat after the Defense Matrix nerfs. So, we've got a Reaper all up on our grill right now. We've also, like, just standing thing, we have been healing people who are at full HP at various points throughout this game. I haven't been pointing them out as they've been happening because I'm very easily distracted as a person, but we've done it a few times throughout this game. I noticed them watching it through the first time, so standing thing, try to avoid healing people at full HP. As soon as they're full HP, just be damage boosting them. Even if they aren't somebody great to damage boost, just damage boost them anyway, because if you're healing somebody at full HP, that's the same as your beam being turned off. And if you're on your way to heal somebody else, just like damage boost somebody while you're on your way to that person that you're gonna heal. It's hard to carry as a healer in general, so it's about being as efficient with your resources as possible. So, you just want to avoid healing people at full HP. So, currently, like, a little bit of an awkward fight, because their team is, like, very annoying to play against as Mercy, because there's a lot of people who are, like, trying to pressure you. Fortunately, we're not being pressured too heavily during this fight, so we're sort of able to skate away. Well, we don't need to go up to the D.Va, because we were already tethered to the D.Va, and that put us right next to the Reinhardt, who we definitely don't want to be right next to. And now, things are starting to fall apart, we're losing momentum, we've lost our tanks, like, D.Va lost her mech, which is the same as her dying, we lost Winston, we can't res Winston. We feel kinda like we have to go in, I think, because Lucio sound barriered. Lucio shouldn't have sound barriered, like, there's no way you win that fight from that position because you've lost both of your tanks. You hadn't lost D.Va, but you'd lost D.Va, you know what I mean. So, shouldn't have gone, like, that deep in. In general, we are playing, like, too close to people. I've been that Reinhardt before. Feels bad, man. There was no reason he should have let that happen, but I've been there before. So he starts spinning next to us. D.Va can't eat the whole, Death Blossom anymore, even if she has full charge, so we were basically fucked because we weren't at full HP at the time. Whatever. They used a bunch of ultimates. We've got a bunch of ultimates right now. It's fine. We should be able to swing it back around anyway, because now we have all these ultimates. Soldier over here trying real hard to get picked off, actually, but now the team's with him, so he's not going to get picked off anymore, hopefully. Everybody's starting to regroup. Here's Lucio, here's Winston. We got a Reaper behind us, which is very annoying for Winston, obviously, and we're trying to heal him through this trying time. Like, yeah, we just, like, leave him behind, because he's used Primal Rage at this point. Like, hopefully he's got it, basically, and we're gonna come over here and use Valkyrie. Get more off the ground. I have it on good authority, i.e. somebody told me, exactly one person said you can do this, so I believe them. You can try not to, like, look up as you're flying away. Try to just, like, look down and then float up backwards so that, like, if you need to change targets or you need to GA away quickly, you don't have to, like, rotate the camera to make it happen. You're just more aware of the fight. Don't, like, float looking straight up. So now we're up in the sky. Great time. Just slowly getting closer to the ground. Up. We thought we had our res up there. It looked like we did not have our res anytime soon. So sad times. D.Va shouldn't have done that, because, like, we've lost this fight at this point, because 2 people are dead. They are not missing 2 people, so we're basically fucked. We're trying our hardest, but then we get kind of just pinned out of nowhere, which feels bad. We were gonna lose that fight regardless, so it doesn't overly matter that much. But, unfortunately, all of it was a very staggered, prolonged fight that we were... It was basically 2 really long fights that we were never really gonna win. So we just end up losing the game really suddenly, despite only having, like, 2 actual fights. And that's, like, why you don't want your team to, like, super stagger. Because, you know, you just get, like, way less opportunities to actually, like, fight and try to win the game. Yeah, you know. It was actually Zarya that did all the work in that play, but unfortunately Zarya has one of those ultimates that gives other people the play of the game. Much like Ana. So, the thing that stood out the most in this game is that Danny's a huge waste of space, but other than that, the thing that stands out the most is that we just generally are, like, too close to the team. We, like, GA up to people who we're trying to heal, but we could heal them from further away, and getting closer to them just puts us into it. It was always D.Va we did that to as well, wasn't it, now that I think about it? We want to be, like, as far away as possible. Like, just as important to bear in mind when you're playing Mercy, you are the most important member of the team. Everyone else is less valuable than you. So, don't, like, put yourself in mortal peril to try and fix somebody else's mistake. This is gonna be even more punishing to try and do once the nerf comes in, where Res has a cast time if you're not in Valkyrie. So, just try to play more cautiously, position further back. If somebody fucked up and died, that's their own dumbass fault. If you're gonna risk dying to save them, it's probably not worth it. So, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you found the video helpful. Except you, Danny!